When it comes to Tana Mongeau,
I cried for an entire week. She didn't go to support David. She only went because she was already out and her friends took her there after. It was my friend's birthday. I went out a bunch. I ended up going out. My friend dragged me to Barlise.
Because it's the juice. And if you don't have the juice, you don't have it. So if you don't have the juice, you can't capitalize.
It has the juice.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That bit fire. Yeah, she kinda.
welcome back to the channel. I know I'm sitting in a chair today. That makes noise. Wait. You can kind of hear it a little bit, but it's not that intense. Anyways, if you guys have been here for a while, you'll know that Jeff has been on my channel and he did see that reaction video. So we are all the way team Jeff Wittek over here. When it comes to Tana Mongeau, is that even her name? Am I saying it right? I feel like I'm always saying it wrong when I say it, but besides the point. When I started seeing them gallivanting all over the town together in LA, I personally had no idea that they even had a podcast. I do not really go around digging to figure out why people are together. I just assumed like maybe they started dating, maybe they were getting really close. I don't know. I really didn't think anything of it. I had no idea that they had conjured this fan base together of people who love seeing them as that dynamic duo, if you will. But the first time I saw them, I believe it was from Frank's page, this photographer that I follow. He takes a lot of pictures of them. I really thought that they were dating or maybe hooking up, something like that. I didn't even realize that it was this other situation of them being together and creating content. I really actually had no idea because I'm lame. So as I was coming across this video of what Tana did, which is basically go to David Dobrik's release party or whatever the heck. And here's my thing. Why do you feel that it makes sense for you to do something that isn't gonna hurt somebody that you love when in reality you know damn well that that was gonna hurt Jeff? You don't wear a t-shirt like this and not know stuff like that. I'm sorry if you're a huge Tana fan. So when I saw or heard the part where Spilsha said that she never wanted him to feel like she didn't have his back. And my thing is like, Tana, girl, listen, having someone's back would have looked like, hey, I totally get that we're out and about right now, but you know, I'm like in love with doing this podcast with Jeff and we're at David's event and I really don't want to get into any sort of drama energy. I don't even want people to see me here and then in turn go back and tell him. So I'm going to go ahead and Uber, but if you guys, you know, want to come with me, you guys can. Something like that. I mean, just some regular normal stuff, right? But I get it. There's so much money, attention, status attached to this to where it can make things a little woo woo woo. But I just personally feel like having someone's back would have looked like that, point blank period. Anyways, before I get into my full thoughts on this entire situation, I want to hop into just a little bit of their conversations back and forth, which I just felt like Jeff is very much playing this smart, and I'm glad.
How much she had actually hurt Jeff, and she never would want him to feel like she doesn't have his back. There was a moment last week where I thought I'd never be back here again. Same. Just when I got into the crazy. We're toxic. We're officially toxic.
I'm fine.
Are you?
I'm good.
Doesn't seem like it.
I feel like I had a lot of stuff to talk to you about, but it got real.
Yeah, it got like off podcasty.
Yeah,
Like-
we talked about it, and I explained to you. Well, no, I just kind of let it all go.
Yeah, we had our first like actual real fight. Jeff says that he looks at Tana as someone in his inner circle, and he was really hurting and upset seeing Tana go to David's launch party. And Tana was equally hurt seeing how much this affected Jeff.
So I felt crushed. I was in my house miserable.
I know. You were in a really big spiral. And I'm not saying, like, if I upset you, I apologize to you a million times. If I upset you, it breaks
If I upset you, it's just so.
my heart. Like, I was really sad thinking that you doubted how much I love you and, like, how much I support you and, like, how much I have your back. It actually broke my heart. I cried for an entire week. Tana ends up explaining how she even ended up at the party in the first place and says that she didn't go to support David. She only went because she was already out and her friends took her there after. It was my friend's birthday. I went out a bunch. I ended up going out. My friend dragged me to Barlise.
I feel like if it was all females, it would be a way bigger situation. And I feel like Jeff should absolutely feel hurt And if anything, I think he should come for, I think he should have all the way came for her, and him taking that tattoo off, removing it or whatever. First of all, the fact that you even got a tattoo, you know what, let me shut up. Like I said, you don't wear this shirt for no reason. You just don't.
That Dobrik's happened to be happening there. I didn't take any photos. I didn't post on the carpet there. I didn't post there at all. I went there for 30 fucking minutes with my best friends. I happened to get dragged into a photo that you didn't like. Yep.
Dragged into a photo. That is just such an interesting, like, use of words with your tongue out. And, you know, and another thing is, like, there's no way that you don't know the value that you hold by taking a picture with somebody. Not to say you're Kim K, Kylie Jenner, Jennifer Lopez, and I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is there is a sense of value there. I think we all collectively know that. For you to make it seem as if, like, oh my gosh, I got dragged into this picture with David Dobrik, like, oh my God, like, it's just so, but at the same time, I do see the benefit of Jeff and Tana remaining friends or cordial or whatever they want to turn this into. If anything, they could really spin this off. And if they have not thought of this, if this has not been said somewhere, you heard it here first, they could spin this off into a frenemy situation. Absolutely. And if they did, I would just like to be the first one to say I'll be watching.
Jeff explains why he was so upset seeing Tana go to the launch party and says that it was mostly because he felt like Tana was being used, and David was trying to use Tana and that picture of them together as like an FU to Jeff.
This right here, and again, no hate to you, Jeff, because I love me some Jeff, but the projection, like, what are you talking about? Y'all are all collectively, all three, using each other, and that has been the way it has been since day one. Let us not act stupid here. So it's like, if David is using Tana, or if Tana is using David, let's not act like you're not also benefiting from the connection, partnership with her as well. And again, simultaneously on both ends, literally on both ends. Not in a bad way, but I just felt like it was super strange that that's how he explained it. I think he should have just explained it straight up. What you did was wrong. You're my partner, and you should not be with my enemy out and about with your tongue out and your eye closed like this, like some conspiracy whore. Not to be rude. Again, I'm just saying it doesn't correlate. Period. There is no, oh, well, I don't want David to use you, and Jeff, no, like, literally, it was wrong. Point blank, period. What do you, like, I don't understand why we're trying to justify it. It's actually weird to me.
And that's the part that really
I don't get it.
him. When David
am I
feels
wrong?
like he has this upper hand in the situation when it comes to Jeff. He feels like David is doing a bunch of little things right now to try and get under his skin.
And of course he is. Duh. Like, we all know that, especially David. David has to play it real sneaky with his reputation. And not even on the bad end, but on the good end, people freaking adore David Dobrik. He's literally a labradoodle of human beings. I don't even know how else to, explain him. Of course, he's gonna have to do things a little bit more sneakily under the table. Is that something that you're gonna necessarily care about? And if you are gonna care about it, why? And that why is important. It's extremely important. Your life was at stake. Point blank, period. What did Tana say? I can't remember.
Right now.
I didn't doubt how much you had my back. I didn't doubt your friendship towards me. I felt like you got taken advantage of and manipulated, and you fell right into a trap. And that's what...
Right there, Tana's smirking. She looks to the corner. It's just...
I was, like, pissed off about, and I felt like you didn't give a f***. And to see how they're buying press and they're doing stunts, and, like, he got a eye sculpture, and it's like mocking me because he wants to get me to the point where I go beat him up.
Period. Second, you said it seemed like you didn't give a F. The way her shoulders is just looking like, again, I'm just reading energy, body language. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, obviously. All theories here. Jeff, you know she don't give a damn. No one is gonna go and take a picture with it's just not gonna happen. Not in the regular world. Being upset is valid. There is nothing that should be justified other than an apology from Tana, and then you accepting it and then moving on. That's it. I don't think that the diving deeper into why should even be, it shouldn't even be a conversation. We absolutely know why. I'm pissed right there with you. I was like, what is going on?
And then he's got something to say, like, oh, look, he did this in court.
Jeff says that he acknowledges that he can't control Tana And he doesn't want to tell her, oh, you can't hang out with him. He just didn't want her to get used in a...
And you don't have to do that. But your real ones are not gonna be around people that don't like you, point blank period. They're not. And if they are, you're gonna have those conversations.
Though she might not care about that, he was upset by that and doesn't want to see her get taken advantage of in some sort of game David's trying to play. Now the thing is,
And of course he's playing again.
Well, he never got me to go there.
He got a photo of you, and that's all he wanted. You fell right in his trap, and he got you.
But that's the thing. I'm never going to look at it as falling into someone's trap, because here's the thing. I went there, and I
I fell into his trap before.
Yeah, but I
got me
didn't.
good.
And I'm saying that. I had 38 conversations at that event about...
The fact that she says 38, girl, so you counted 38 the entire time, that whole 38 minutes. So what you're actually saying is you were there for 30 minutes, you had 38 conversations. So what I'm hearing is the conversations that you had with all of these people, it's just, you know damn well you shouldn't have been there, point blank period. That's really where I'm at.
You, about our podcast, about how much I love you. Do you know I spent probably 20 minutes with each person, like, in his group?
This entire time, all I'm hearing is like a violin playing in my ear, because it's like you're just trying to justify. It's like watching an interrogation. Someone's trying to justify, why they killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. And I personally don't care how much you went somewhere and talked about somebody that everyone there doesn't like. If anything, you're making everybody else uncomfortable while you're there anyway. So I don't really care that you did that. What the statement would have been is if you would have been like, oh no, I'm not going there because I do this podcast with Jeff Wittek. If you stated that, like on some weird Nikita Dragon, like just flip a switch type energy, people would be absolutely proud of you, like in a completely different way that I think you probably wouldn't even be able to like comprehend. But I feel that status and that, well, I got invited here, like that's not my fault, like I'm popping, I'm that person. Like, why are you trying to justify? I just don't understand, and I really feel bad that this is even happening to Joe. I just don't think it's a necessary piece of drama that needs to be happening, especially going through a lawsuit.
Like, explaining to them the relationship I have with you and how much I love you. And it's crazy.
And that just shows that you're doing that out of anxiety and guilt while you're there, because you knew you shouldn't have been there. So you're going around and, oh my God, Jeff, oh my gosh, my podcast, the podcast. You're self-soothing yourself through those conversations.
Because I had crazy conversations with a lot of his group where they're like, I miss Jeff so much and I love Jeff so much. Tana.
And then with that piece right there, so what you're trying to do is have us now focus on these people who are not friends with Jeff because they are for David, where you are for both of them. So you want us to see you in like this like high and mighty light, when it's like, ma'am, you could have just made the decision.
But Jeff is saying that they can't have the best
You just
of both
don't.
worlds. If they don't support David and they're hanging out with Jeff, they might lose it all.
I don't respect anyone who can't love the people they love, like, without being ashamed. Like, I think that's so out of pocket. Like, I don't care what I do or who's given me clout or who's done whatever for me. If I love someone, I love them. I'm going to, like, love it. And that's how I love you. So it just made me have, like, I guess less respect for some people, which maybe I shouldn't say on the podcast.
That's how they make money. That's their friend before I came around.
Right.
Fine. If they don't.
And that is a very good point. And that is another reason why you shouldn't have been there. You are paying David in your time and your presence, whether you think that that's a valued currency or not.
Have the balls.
But
to
you
go
put
do
money
it.
over loving people? Like, I don't.
No, because they won't be able to pay the rent. Pay for
If
their.
they tell you they miss
Some
you
people
and
have
they
kids.
love you.
Some people. I'm not taking them and.
Girl, there are people out here that will literally kill other people for $1,000. Like, it's scary out here. Please.
Bringing them, putting them in Steven's spot. I'm not taking nobody with me. I'm
Yeah,
doing
but
this shit by
couldn't they
myself.
put themselves in a spot? Like, what's
Maybe
where's
they don't have the
point?
confidence to do that.
Tana goes on to say that she wants Jeff to move past this era in his life and know that he has solid people in his life right now who have his back.
I hate and love that she says this, because you have no control of how long it's going to take this man to get over this situation, let alone the trauma, the psychological drama, the psychological trauma. You can't put a time frame on that, Tana. It's a process which will always take continuous progress. Therefore, constantly looking at everything that's going on within your life, trial and error. I mean, there's so many different paths that you can go through. It could be anything, divorce, right? But no one can put a time frame on that. Only that person knows, and only that person will know after that time has passed. If it was a woman, I really feel like the way the outrage would be very, very different, especially when David got that art piece of the eye. Where are we at?
Yeah, and it had to happen.
Dark as fuck.
Yeah.
But
She thinks for his mental sanity, he needs to just let go of David, the Vlog Squad, like all these thoughts.
like what you went through is a pivotal moment of your life, obviously.
Yeah, and it had to
it's
happen.
dark as fuck.
Yeah.
But my goal for you is to let you realize that it's happened and you healed from it and you're an
My goal for you is to help you realize.
amazing person and you've built this amazing life and it's something you should no longer focus on, no longer spiral about. You should realize the love that's around you, and I keep trying to let you know I am a part of the love that's around you. Like, I will never leave you. I will always have your back, as will the people who love you. I have spent so much of my time doing everything to show you that I'm there for you.
I know.
Not attending things, not doing things, not being around certain people. I've adopted you as my best friend and let
That's
go of
so
a lot
crazy.
of like LA or faker friendships in order to make sure that you know how much I love you, because I feel like you have a really big issue with knowing that people love you if they don't really show that.
Yeah.
And
It's just crazy how you can say all that and then in turn still do what you did and then have justifications after it. It has me absolutely bamboozled, Miss Tana. But the one point I really want to talk about is this situation.
I hate to see you so
What if I
consumed with
told
it.
you that my accident wasn't as much of an accident, it was more of a failed prank?
That I wasn't in on.
Can you
And
imagine?
then when it came down to it and I was in the hospital and they filled out an accident report and they said that I was driving.
So it's a super wrong situation. Where
And that's
you were
stuff I
wrong.
never said to anyone.
Yeah.
So,
Like you were super wronged. And
Yeah.
it sucked.
A prank gone wrong?
She said you were super wronged and that sucked. Meanwhile, you got your tongue stuck out with the devil himself. And not necessarily the devil, but the devil in Jeff's eyes. It's just crazy how people can have these opportunities and just do off the wall things. The reason that is so bizarre to me is because things like that happening or transpiring in the corporate setting, you could lose your job really quick, really quick, where influencers as well as celebrities are protected in a way that is just so beyond the scope of reality. Don't care at all how great their dynamic is. I will forever stand that what Tana did, it was absolutely terrible. I don't care. I don't think she cares at all whatsoever. Nah, you don't do stuff like that for no reason. And like I said, and where I'll leave you guys, you don't wear this shirt for a reason, guys. Like I said, you do not wear this shirt for a reason. If you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Pulling out the coupe in the lot, 12 for a squat, busting out the